Hey guys, so we've gone over my favorite raid subclass builds, and although hard mode slightly changes a couple of things, the next thing I really wanted to talk about are my weapon loadouts. There are so many good weapons out there right now that it might seem overwhelming what to pick, so let's go over some of my favorites. We'll start with just opening up the portal to get inside. For here, you're pretty open for your selections. I usually run with my Smite of Moraine in my primary slot, and since I don't have any specific exotic recommendations for special or heavy, this can be anything that you want or whatever your highest light item is. But for your special, this is one of the few places where a shotgun is actually pretty good. In my case, it's just the raid shotgun. Any shotgun is going to be pretty good. You can jump over any phalanx and just blast them in the head. Those guys tend to be really annoying. For my heavy, I actually have a fondness for the rocket launcher. If you're someone who stands in the middle by where the relics are dunked and you clear out all the ads, well, one or two well-placed rockets is going to bring a lot of that stuff down. The Centurions are going to be pretty low, and clearing this room quickly is going to help you go a lot faster and smoother. Next up, we have the Prove Your Worth encounter. This is also going to be a dealer's choice style of picking. I run with my Smite of Moraine, a sniper, and a heavy machine gun, the raid one. Having a sniper is really nice for killing knights and wizards. A solar machine gun, especially the raid machine gun, helps with the wizards as well. This fight is pretty straightforward with the weapon selection. Let's move to the Warpriest, where we have some options depending on your strategy. If you have a full group with Touch of Malice and 2 Defender Titans, you may opt for the Touch of Malice strategy, where you dip in and out of wards to grab Blessing and Weapons of Light and just shoot away at his head. Your special and heavy weapons don't really matter as much, since you'll just be using Touch of Malice spam to kill the boss, but a solar sniper and heavy weapon are both handy for getting rid of wizards quickly. Even a solar shotgun could work for wizard killing, but it's probably not worth the risk on hard mode. If you don't have that available to you, then you're going to be rolling with snipers, and obviously the best boss damage sniper is Black Spindle. Being able to shoot non-stop for 18 to 24 shots in a row is crazy efficient and does a lot of work. Plus, it's solar, so wizard killing is easy. Your heavy should be whatever your hardest hitting weapon is. Rockets are not the worst choice. This fight is all about getting as much damage onto the boss as possible. Consider that a rocket is going to deal about the same amount of damage as maybe 15 machine gun shots. The faster you can get that damage onto the boss, the better. Obviously, the risk with using a rocket launcher is blowing yourself up when you're so close to everyone else, and in this case, that certainly is a big risk. That, and in the amount of time it takes to fire those rockets, you could deal approximately the same damage with your sniper, if not more. So if you are going to use a weapon that isn't a sniper, use all of your sniper shots first. Obviously, another risk of using a rocket is that you'll miss and end up wasting a lot of damage. However, if you're the person who is going to be getting the aura, might I suggest Red Death. I've been using it recently, and it has been working out very, very well. It's the same damage and rate of fire as the Smite of Moraine, and has health regen on every kill. When you're constantly surrounded by enemies that you're not allowed to shoot, having that health regen is incredibly valuable, even if you got shot again very quickly after. It might not be great for boss damage, but if you're the kind of person who can multitask, you'll probably be going from Red Death to your sniper. If you are in this specific role, then the raid sniper and the raid heavy machine gun are excellent choices to multitask. Kill an ad with Red Death, swap to the sniper, shoot your shots, back to Red Death, kill an ad, swap to your heavy machine gun, shoot a little bit, etc. Doing it this way ensures that your weapons will always be reloaded with Cocoon, as I don't think just using one of the weapons will give you enough time to reload those weapons automatically. The sniper does reload pretty quickly, but in the heat of battle, it's best to let Cocoon do its own thing. Another suggestion I have is to try to avoid using Firefly weapons. The absolute last thing you want is to accidentally kill 2 ads at once, or having a teammate accidentally kill something that you were going to shoot. The chances are low that something bad would happen, but it's best to avoid it at all costs. Golgoroth is up next, but these recommendations are going to seem pretty familiar. For those of you going into the pit, Black Spindle proved to work better than any sort of Touch of Malice strategy. I would imagine that a Touch of Malice strategy would work better than Black Spindle if you had 4 Defender Titans in the pit, but that's pretty unrealistic. Your primary can be pretty much anything, but try to get something that's going to make quick work of Curse Thrall while still being useful against tons of Taken Thrall. So that's probably not going to be a hand cannon, although something like Ace of Spades with Firefly is really solid. Your heavy should be a machine gun, and considering that I think the raid heavy machine gun is the best one in the game for PvE, use that. Otherwise, something like Ruin Wake is fine. If you don't have a black spindle, then any hard-hitting sniper will work, just not as well. Shotgun is definitely a no, as are fusion rifles. A lot of people have been asking about no time to explain versus black spindle for Golgoroth damage, and I have some results for you. All of us in my group had an average of about a 297 no time to explain versus probably a 305 average black spindle. The results are that no time to explain does not even come close to black spindle, even taking the attack value differences in mind. I will say that you don't have to concentrate as much with no time to explain. It's very simple in execution, just hold the trigger down. But if you're looking to kill Golgoroth as fast as possible, black spindle is easily the way to go. If you are a taunt player, then I have more specific recommendations. Red Death and Zalo Supercell are very good choices. After finally getting Zalo recently, I completely see what others have seen in it this entire time. You will basically never run out of ammo, and it is fantastic for ogre venom killing. Red Death is a good second place. With a pulse rifle, it is totally possible to hit multiple orbs in a single burst, but if you aren't nailing all of your shots, then you will have to reload at some point. Having a reload bonus on your gloves helps immensely. Red Death or any life support weapon is very helpful for any sort of regen, just in case you're hit by anything. You can eat 2 or 3 ogre venom at higher levels and not die, so if you're in trouble, just let things hit you if you can deal with it, and then just lifesteal back up with Red Death on the next wave. If you're a multitasker or one of the 8 groups in the world that actually uses all of the orbs, a raid heavy machine gun once again treats you very well. At 5 seconds remaining on the other player's taunt, you shoot down your orb, pop a couple of shots to hit into his taunt spot, and then the machine gun should be reloaded by the next time you need to use it again. For the daughters, the Touch of Malice is dominant over everything else by what feels like an overwhelming amount. With Weapons of Light and a Shadow Shot applied, you can deal almost 10,000 damage per shot to the head, which blows everything else out of the water. Hitting their head can be kind of obnoxious with other weapons depending on your strategy, and I figure most groups are trying to kill them in one damage cycle. If you don't have Touch of Malice, then any hard-hitting sniper and heavy machine gun will work fine, you just might need to do an extra damage cycle. For Oryx, you have some options, however the strategy my team uses is a Blessing of Light Touch of Malice strategy. This is because when we were originally learning the fight, we didn't have enough damage for ogres because of our light levels, but then switched to using Touch of Malice and went high risk, high reward. From there, the strategy has stuck, but as long as you have a hard-hitting sniper rifle for ogres, you should at least be fine for normal mode. Normal mode does not require Touch of Malice. Hard mode might be a little tougher, just make sure you're stocked on sniper ammo. However, during the Echo phase, I personally switch off of Touch of Malice and switch to literally anything else. This is because you don't regenerate health while inside the bubble, and the last thing you want to do is accidentally kill yourself with Touch of Malice. When we get teleported back outside though, that's when I switch back. If you are the brand holder in the fight, might I suggest an exotic sword. Being the brand holder with a sword means you can stand in front of the vessel, steal the aura, and usually 2 or 3 R2 attacks with your exotic sword will take it down. This gets rid of a major problem in the encounter very, very quickly. Otherwise, Oryx doesn't really have any specific gun requirements outside of the Touch of Malice strategy. A 1,000-yard stare in your sniper slot, Black Spindle, Arene RR4, any of them will work for killing ogres. A sniper rifle is usually much more helpful than a heavy machine gun because while the heavy machine gun does some good work, the sniper excels because you can usually fire your 4 shots and be done. You don't need extended damage on most targets. This is why something like an exotic sword is not a ridiculous choice. As long as you can keep sniper ammo stocked, you should be fine. This also means that rocket launchers are not a terrible choice either for killing ogres. Those are my weapon recommendations for King's Fall and King's Fall hard mode. Hope that helps you guys out. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.